Hi, I'm Shelley McMurtry, founder of firstinhermind.com. Right now, I am standing on the creek at the equestrian center where I live, and any of you who have read my articles for any period of time have probably heard me talk about the equestrian center and the creek, and occasionally in the mornings I come down here and have a cup of espresso and start my day kind of in a calm, nice, therapeutic way before I get to writing to all of the men on my list and get started with work for the day. So when you hear me talk about the creek, this is where I am. This is where I enjoy my morning coffee. And today what I want to talk to you about is why women let themselves go. There's an interesting subject that a lot of times, you hear men say, well, she just let herself go. So let's talk about why do women let themselves go? And it can be for a number of reasons. The relationship gets normal, people kind of get complacent, there's no true reason to keep herself up and to keep her hair colored or her makeup always done or to necessarily even stay in good physical shape. But let's talk about why exactly that happens and the source of that. And one thing that I have realized as a woman and knowing the women that I know, female friends and relatives, one thing that seems to commonly happen is that when a man and woman get together, the woman starts out wanting to impress the man, just as the man wants to impress the woman. And so she does the makeup, she does the hair, she goes to the beauty shop, she buys, the sexy heels, she, maybe wears the shorter skirts, whatever. Things that make him, get turned on, feel more sexual. She feels better because typically when you start to date someone, they're a little younger, unless, it's a, relationship, second marriage or something. But, you want to impress the other person, so you're going to do all that you can to look better, look your best. All right, so as it progresses, the woman gradually, maybe doesn't do that as much or as often or maybe with as much gusto whenever she does decide to do it. But why does that happen? And one thing that I have realized that occurs is a lot of times the woman, it's not that she necessarily wants to stop doing that, but gradually over time, the man doesn't understand why she wants the various handbags and the assortment of different colors of heels and handbags with various outfits, and why she'll spend an hour on her hair and still not be happy with it, and why when a friend recommends a really good brand of cosmetics that's maybe more expensive than what she's using currently, but they swear by it, she just has to have it. And all these things happen, and a man just doesn't understand them. A man's not expected to understand them. I don't expect a man to understand these things because a man doesn't do these type of things. However, even if a man doesn't understand something, when it comes to a woman being a woman, I think a man has to be very supportive and appreciative of her being a woman. Because I hear so often in relationships and in marriages, the man start to say, I don't understand why she spends an hour on her hair. I don't understand why she has the fetish for shoes. I don't understand why she has to have, the assortment of handbags. All of these different complaints. And maybe he even says them jokingly. But the woman starts to hear this, and the woman starts to realize that she's a burden and that these things aren't supported, they aren't appreciated. So why should she do them? She might keep the things that are important to her, but gradually over time, she lets certain things go. So she doesn't spend as much money on makeup, she doesn't invest as much money into her hair, she doesn't go to the gym, and she gradually just loses her enthusiasm because it's not appreciated, it's not supported. It's maybe causing more harm than good. So she just starts to let herself go. Well, the irony that ensues is that the man now thinks back to when she looked so pretty and she would spend so much time on her hair and she would get dressed up for him and they would go dancing, and now she doesn't feel like going dancing anymore. He barely can get her out of the house to go to a nice dinner. And you hear all these complaints, yet when the woman was doing that, he complained about what it took to get that done. The money, the time, everything. So my point is this: I think it's very important for men to support the woman as the sexual, attractive woman that she wants to be. And to not just support that and appreciate that, but to actually push towards that and help enable that, versus complaining about the money, maybe occasionally giving a little extra money towards that budget or towards her means of doing that. When women feel attractive, when we feel pretty, we feel more sexual. When we feel appreciated, we feel more sexual. When we feel pretty and appreciated and attractive, we have a higher self-esteem. And guess what? That's one of the keys to a woman feeling sexual. So if you want a woman to keep looking good for you, to remain sexual, to be the woman long-term that you have in the beginning, then you want to appreciate, support, and really enable the woman that she is. And appreciate the woman that she is. She is a woman, and you may not understand everything she does. I don't expect you to understand everything I do. I don't expect you to understand everything a woman does. You can't be expected to understand it. But at least recognize it, appreciate it, and support it. Even if you're absolutely baffled as to why she does certain things. It doesn't matter why, it just matters what the outcome is. Because if you're not supportive of the woman she is, she's just going to become another one of your fat male buddies. And there will be absolutely no sex in your relationship. This is Shelley McMurtry. Go to firstinhermind.com if you are not receiving my articles currently. Thank you.